Man, it has been the productive night. Not only did we get the NA exclusive, but we also know what Ruler Melusine does. She is actually just an AoE arts farmer, which is a little disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people are like, is she gonna be this new crack support? Is she gonna save quick? No, not really. She's just going to be really good with Castoria, which is kind of what the original Melusine was, but she also had some kind of synergy with like Sky and Oberon, but she's still good. So yeah, let's just kind of dive into the details over here. I've kind of already just looked at them myself, but I want to show them off for you guys. So she does have this very solid, 30% arts card buff over here for herself for 3 turns. She does give herself a nice 30% crit damage buff, which is not bad. And then she has an anti-chaotic buff. And she does give the entire party 1000 damage cup for 3 turns, but she doesn't give it to herself, which is a little interesting. It does make the arts party a little more tanky if you're doing like, say, double Castoria. It'll make your double Castorias a little more tanky. They won't die to random enemy crits or NP. Well, they will probably die to NPs, but random attacks more frequently, right? They'll be a little more sturdy, but it's a little bit interesting. But I think one of the things that, honestly, it is 5 a.m. for me, but I'm just very disappointed they didn't do the original Melusine thing where she can swap NPs for this one, right? Because that would have been very interesting if they would have like maybe swapped her from being a support to a single target or anything like that. She's just a really, really good AoE unit. But moving over to her second skill, the second skill is nice, but the third skill, that's where stuff starts to get a little bit nutty. So she does give herself decent star weight, which is nice, because if you're going to be using her with, say, Lady Avalon, who does provide stars, kind of in the similar vein to Merlin, you stop at 20-30 on her, she can be very, very strong. She does have this additional effect that while she does provide 10 stars per turn, if you're on the shore battlefield, kind of like, say, Saber Nero or just any of those other servants, she'll give herself extra stars. That can be a little bit nice. That's really all this skill does. It's kind of like her second skill originally, where it's just star weight, stars, and that's kind of about it. But I want to move over to the third skill, because the third skill is a little bit nutty, because for whatever reason, they were like, okay, look, original Melusine gave herself a 100% battery. What if we gave herself an 80% battery? I don't know who approved this. I don't know who was like, yeah, just a farming AoE art servant needs an 80% battery. Yeah, let's just go ahead and approve that. This is very, very good. Let me just tell everybody that's watching this. This is a very, very good skill, but I don't think it's as broken as you think on an AoE art servant. This seems like a 90++ node type skill, because think about it. How often have you been like, oh, I'm farming with Summer Ibuki, I'm farming with Summer Kama, I'm farming with Summer, or not even Summer, but just Space Ishtar, and you're like, man, the 50% battery is just not good enough. Very rarely, I imagine, like very rarely is that 50% battery not good enough. But do you know where an 80% battery is really good? Arts 90++ setups. It feels like they literally just built this servant, this Summer Melusine, as a really, really good servant for 90++ setups, where you just don't quite loop just enough and you need that big fat 80% battery. So I'm not saying this is bad, but I'm saying this is very deliberately like made to be very, very good in the most weird and whack content. Because as someone who's been playing JP for the last 2 years, 50% batteries on my arts AoE servants has not really been something that I've been like, oh, like 50% is not good enough. But I have found myself in a few 90++ nodes where I'm like, man, I really wish Ibuki had a 60% battery, and they release Melusine with an 80%. I'm like, oh, okay. I see what you guys are doing. You're making a good AoE art servant for these 90 plus nodes. I see what you guys are doing, because then they also give her the fat NP damage. And what have I been saying? That art servants are really, really good with Black Grail. And who does that make them very good with? Oberon. So more NP damage means art servants are even better with Black Grail and synonymously Oberon. So I'm like, okay, you're really, really trying to make Melusine a very, very strong arts AoE servant, because look at her NP. It's just, you know, you get extra attack based on the NP level. You get crit damage, which, let's be honest, who really cares about that? Unless you're going to be using her in some like random challenge quest thing, you probably don't care. And then look at this. Earth attribute damage mod. That's a very, very good damage mod to have, especially as a looper. If you are using Yugioh right now on NA, it's like, Earth is a very, very good damage mod. Overall, I don't want to sound like a little conspiracy theorist guy, but this is like a servant they just built to be a good farmer for arts, specifically for 90 plus nodes. Like, this is like, they just packaged it as much as they can. 80% battery, earth damage mod, chaotic, all of the good stuff they just packed in there to make her really, really good. I'm not saying she's bad. She's definitely good, because look, 42%, you know, who cares about that? It's Castoria. Like, 5-hit AoE NP. Someone could be like, oh, well, she has 42%, but dog, if you can make Saber Nero or Caskill farm on NA pre their buffs, trust me, she's gonna be fine, right? Like, anybody that's like, oh, she can't farm, they're just wrong, all right? They're not using their brains. They're stupid, all right? She can definitely farm, but it seems like they definitely wanted her to be good for like these weird 90 plus nodes. I don't know, because her passives aren't anything special. They're like pretty safe, right? Like crit damage, you know, magic resistance, quick card buff, who cares, right? It's nothing super insane. I don't know, am I the only person who's like having this crackpot theory where like, not only is Saber Melusine a really good just standard .jpeg looper, but Summer Castoria is like a standard .jpeg single target arts DPS servant. Like, they're both really safe. They're both really good. Don't misunderstand me. They're both very, very strong, but they're both really safe. Like, they don't do anything super crazy. They don't do anything super broken. They're just really safe. I don't know if anybody's getting that same vibe that I'm getting. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, because I'm like, Castoria, when I initially read her, like, you know, stats and everything, I was like, this is a very just good servant. Not broken, not insane, just good. Melusine, I read her details. She's good, not broken, just really, really good. Seems to be tailored for like 90 plus content, but not insane. They didn't give her a second NP or anything. They just made her good. I don't know if I'm the only person seeing that. Maybe it's just, you know, 6 in the morning for me right now, and I'm like just initially seeing these results, but just looking at this, it just seems like they were very, very safe with the Summer 8 servants. I haven't read the Bargus and the Sith details, and I hope they're, you know, maybe like Chloe, where they're like the standout servant, but I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, because I'm not disappointed, but I'm kind of disappointed that they went very safe with the 5-star servants. You know, like, generally, like, think of like Summer Kiara. Summer Kiara had like this weird niche of upgrading her skills, or Summer Ruler Artoria had this weird niche of shuffling cards. Summer BB for Summer 3 had this weird niche of locking the cards, but these two 5-stars are just very, very, very safe. They're good. They're good servants to summon for. And again, let me reiterate, they are good. They seem very, very strong, but they don't really bring anything new to the table, if that makes any sense. Like, they aren't really doing anything that's like, yeah, this is like a crazy new mechanic, or this is really nuts. It's like these are very safe servants. And I don't know if that's Lisangle's plan or not, but I don't know. I don't know if that's just me being a crackpot theory head at 6 in the morning, or maybe the community kind of agrees with me that these just seem like very, very safe servants. Because they're good. They're good. I'm not going to deny them that, but I don't know. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and subscribe. And I am going to go to bed because it's 6 in the morning and I got some thinking to do.